All right, hello and welcome everyone to episode 108 of the GGG Podcast. As always, I am Paul and I am joined by Phil. We got a good episode for you today. We're going to be talking some Highguard. We're going to be talking about a live story going on as we are recording this, which is the huge Ubisoft restructuring that's happened. A little bit of Dawn of War, some Saros details, Helldiver's Death Star that they've come up with. And for the main topic, we're talking Marathon that has been doing a huge publicity push this last week. We'll see if it can rival Arc Raiders. But before we get into that, if you haven't already liked and subscribed to our YouTube channel, please do so. And if you're listening to us over on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, follow us over there as well. Phil, have you had a good gaming week? What have you been getting up to?
Yeah, it's been a pretty good week, I gotta say. I played a lot of Marvel Rivals. I played Deadpool a couple times as a new character, and I gotta say, props to the community. Not everyone's auto-picking him, so I had a chance to wait so everyone else picked their thing. I was like, well, you know what, I'll try it.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of fun. A very interesting character. I like the sort of modality of it and the leveling up stuff. Yeah, feels like a pretty good addition, if not a pretty weird one, and changes the vibe of that game going forward, which is cool. But besides that, I've been playing some Arc Raiders. Kind of slowed down a little bit. I don't know why. I've just been okay, I'm waiting for the next thing. After the cold snap, I'm like, what the next thing's going to be?
Yeah.
It's, this trials, I'm collecting blueprints, whatever. I've kind of got thrown into some more aggro lobbies because we played a game where some people shot at us and we fought back. And now I've been having other situations where people fight me and I fight back and kill them. And I'm like, I just want to be a peaceful man. Just stop.
Right. Yeah.
I've played this game for 150 hours. I am a merchant of death, but I don't want to be.
Right on.
And then the other game I've been playing a lot this week, which I've probably put the most time into, is Quarantine Zone. Let me look at exactly what the title of this thing is. Quarantine Zone: The Last Check. And you've probably seen clips of this game where someone comes through a gate and you do all these different things to see if they are exhibiting any zombie features.
Oh, yes. This has been a big streamer game. Yeah.
Yeah. And I gotta say, it's really, really fun to sort of get these new tools. This person's got their nose is running, which kind of has been a factor in this many cases. And you're always finding new things to see if someone is a zombie. So by the level that I'm at, you check their lungs, you check their eyes, you check to see if they have skin irritations, you checking their temperature, and how they're acting. It's a really, really deep game that has also got all this weird jank to it. So plenty of fun. If you have Game Pass, it's free. I think otherwise $14. I'd say it's worth the pickup in my book.
Right on. Yeah, I mean, I've been seeing you play that, and then I also saw you digging into Marvel Rivals, so it's good that you like Deadpool. I've just been impressed. I mean, I guess they really don't have anywhere else to go in the sense that there are so many characters. How do you keep the characters original that you're pumping into the game? And the fact that they've been able to do that is very impressive. So, yeah,
it's I'm very impressed by them as a game studio, and to do all this for free and to give you a lot of ways to get skins and stuff within the game that doesn't ever really feel too gross, despite the character designs being pretty sexual. Goonie. Call me Frodo's friend because I'm a Goonie. Anywho.
So yeah, for me, I picked up Absalom. So
hell yeah,
that's been pretty cool. I know you've been talking about it. I have some other friends who have it as well. And it was the last day of the PlayStation January sale. And so I was just like, I'll pick this up while it's on sale. So I was not aware that it is a roguelike. Not my favorite genre, but I will press through. I mean, I think that the art style and the animations and everything like that is really top notch. So hats off on that. I'm not too deep into it. but I hope to get further. I've been playing it with Caitlin so far.
Okay.
So
I feel like it does a good job of like the combat is fun enough and it changes enough on each run.
Mm-hmm.
And there's like they're kind of always taunting you with like, hey, see this area you can't quite get to? Maybe in another run.
Oh yeah, maybe. Yeah, that's I don't know. It definitely feels like Hades meets Castle Crashers. And I have to say, like, I think I still prefer the Castle Crasher method of like experience, and it's like if you've gotten through this level, then you don't have to play through it again. So that's not specific to that game. That's just how roguelikes are structured. Yeah. So but yeah, I've been playing that. I picked up Star Rupture, which was the game release from our first episode this year. It's pretty good. It feels very early access. It is a survival craft sort of, but more of like a factory sim. Seems a lot closer to like Satisfactory, but they have guns and there is shooting, alien wildlife and bugs and stuff like that. But yeah, it definitely feels like a game that you need other people to play it with you. Because instead of like building one giant factory, it's about like having several different outposts in several different parts of the map. And so in that respect, it's like you are building your base, but you have other friends who are also building their base. And it's just about like connecting them, a little bit of Death Stranding, railway system, stuff like that. You're
building a network pretty much rather than like a base.
Yeah.
You're building a base, but then
you probably do need like one like main base to like ship everything off, but it's very like, how do we get this ore and then process it and then change it into this so we can fulfill this contract to this company so we can get an upgrade for our gun. that kind of thing. So yeah, been playing that. And then yeah, I've been playing more Space Marine 2 and more Arc Raiders. Space Marine 2 added a bunch of like heroic elite weapons. So like I've just been logging in trying to earn the currency to use those elite weapons for the higher tier difficulties. And then for Arc Raiders, I've just gotten back into it. Just been more casual, and I just have so many resources that dying has not been as punishing as it has been in the past. And I will also say, me and two friends, we were probably playing Arc Raiders for a couple hours, and then I was like, all right, I want to go in Stellamontis. We should go into Stellamontis. We got to do this. And I was talking, and everyone's like, all right, are we going free loadout? And I was like, no, we're not. And we're not going cheap loadout. We're not going mid loadout. We're going balls to the wall. Like I had like a Torrente. Everyone on my team had heavy shields equipped.
Hell yeah.
And
so you're just walking down every hallway just
here's the thing is like we still did not seek conflict. But the first team we ran into opened fire on us and we killed them. And then another team walked in on us raiding that dead team and they opened fire on us and we killed them. So we killed two teams back to back. And I was like, this is the best thing ever. This is incredible. Well,
no one expects you to have a heavy shield. No one expects that.
Yeah.
Because they're like, oh no, it's it doesn't work with the best like backpacks. But it works when you get shot and you're like, now my turn.
It's perfect. It's just perfect for the Torrente because I have it I had it max upgraded to level 4 or whatever. And then I just had so many bullets. And I could just sit there and just mow them down like I'm in an action movie. So yeah, that was great. That's probably never going to happen again, that we're able to kill two teams like in such close proximity. So, all right, let's get into our show. The first major release. This is a little weird, but Highguard is supposedly coming out in a few days after we are recording this. So it technically is coming out. We have talked about how we have not heard anything about Highguard. And so kind of our first news story blends into this release a little bit in that Highguard has officially been listed as though it's coming out on Steam next week. So it should be coming out, I guess. I think. Are they doing maybe like a soft launch? Because this is a free-to-play game, as far as I was aware, right, Phil?
Yeah. Well, is it free-to-play? I thought it was a full-priced game.
Oh. But then they are going to have... I feel like it can't be a full-price game because you need pre-orders if it's actually going to be coming out next week.
No. Okay, yeah, it is a free-to-play game.
Okay. That makes more sense.
Big sigh of relief.
Yeah, exactly. So, I also came out, I did want to mention this little bit of information for the Game Awards. As we were discussing during our Game Awards episode, there's lots of money that's being funneled into the Game Awards. You have to pay. That's why the show was so freaking long this year. It's everybody's paying for airtime. And apparently, Jeff Keighley did not take a payment for Highguard at the end of the show for the last slot, which is like, you would think it would be almost the most expensive slot that they would sell. But he let them have it off of merit of what the studios have, or the people who work for the studios developing Highguard has produced in the past. So this is really weird. We obviously know that the public had a horrible reaction to Highguard. Phil and I have discussed it. We thought it just felt like it was a game designed in a boardroom instead of a game that gamers actually want to play. So I don't know. Do you think it's going to actually launch next week and actually have some success? What's going to happen with this?
I do. I think in a couple months, everyone's going to have been like, no, I thought Highguard was going to be sick from the start. Because it has got incredible pedigree behind it. It's got people who worked on, a lot of the team worked on Titanfall 2 and Apex Legends, which are some of the best.
Yeah.
I feel like their shooting is up there, I think, with like Halo in a more mobile sense.
Sure.
It just feels really, really good. Same thing with Titanfall. Titanfall has great shooting. It's just like the game just gets kind of tough to play. But it feels like video gamey enough that it might really pop off. Like with these sort of larger than life characters, these big abilities, destructible environments. It seems like it's possible this one might be a banger. But I get, you know what? I'm coming out on its side right now because I feel like odds are it's not going to be good.
Yeah.
But if it is good,
he's taking the under.
Genius. Taking the under. But that said, I would like for it to be good because I kind of want like a new first-person shooter that has like kind of that Destiny feel, especially if it's got Titanfall 2 feel, because
I think its real competitor here is Overwatch. Like that's what the game looked like to me. It looked very Overwatchy. So like, even this is gonna sound crazy, it looked more Overwatch than Marvel Rivals. And Marvel Rivals is straight up Overwatch. So like I
will say it looks a little bit more open, like world, like the combat arenas look a little bit more open than I feel like Overwatch or Marvel Rivals do, which they kind of funnel you into a small area.
Yeah.
This feels like the arena's a little bigger. Again, like having destructible environments, I think is huge for this type of game because there's not much that does that, like in this, no pun intended, arena of arena shooters or
right.
Like hero shooters. That kind of feels like a Fortnite thing or a Rainbow Six thing.
Sure.
So,
I'm taking the over. For me, it's not even like, look, you shouldn't judge a book by its cover. I was not impressed by its trailer in any way. But like it's possible that it can be good. But my problem with it is I don't think the company believes in it, because if the game is really coming out next week, supposedly, where is the publicity? Why aren't they coming out and being like, hey, we know that the trailer really didn't explain the game mode that we were showing off. We're going to show you what this game mode is and why it's exclusive and why it's unique, and it's not Overwatch, or it's not Marvel Rivals, or it's not Rainbow Six Siege, or whatever. But they're not doing that. It kind of feels like they had a horrible reaction, and now they're looking inward and being like, is the public right? Is this game awful? And so that's very worrisome to me. You figure it's like, even if they got some judgment from the Game Awards, maybe let it rest in December. But in January, you come out and be like, hey, guys, we're going to make a big effort to show you that we put a lot of work and effort into this game and that it's actually pretty good. And none of that is happening.
It's really a game, we promise.
But yeah, nobody is saying anything. Why is that? So I don't know. I think if it does launch and it doesn't get a reception, it could be another Concord, but it is free to play. So I think the entry, is people will jump on that. So maybe
it might be a smart thing for them to say little and impress if the game is good. Like the fact that it says that Jeff Keighley brought them in as the last trailer on merit, allegedly, which who knows? Maybe Jeff Keighley's nephew works on this game. But if Sean Keighley doesn't work on the game, then it might be smart for them to just be like quietly like, hey, here's a little game. It's just starting out. We'll let people play it and talk about it if they do. Because I feel like blunders for games like this we saw how bad the reception to the trailer was. If blunders for a game like this could set it back even further.
Sure.
We'll see.
Yeah, we will see soon. Hopefully, maybe.
Soon.
All right.
It gets pushed back immediately. I quit. I'm not in. I don't care. I don't want it no more.
All right, let's go to our sort of live story, and that is Ubisoft is supposedly canceling 12 projects so far. Earlier today, it was 6 projects. Now it's been leveled up to 12 different projects. And the thing is, we don't know exactly what projects those are, aside from the Sands of Time, the Prince of Persia, The Sands of Time, which was our major release for last week. And we did discuss about how it was weird that we hadn't seen any kind of trailer for this game in so long. Kind of sounds like Highguard. And that Ubisoft had been media silent about it, and now we find out that it has been canceled. Phil and I did say that the graphics look like hot garbage for being a remake. So I guess
hot garbage or wet ass.
Wet ass disposing of hot garbage.
There it is.
So last year, and I think this was towards the end of last year, not like less than a month ago or anything like that, but Ubisoft was doing some restructuring and divided up their whole company into 6, or was it 5 or 6? 5 creative houses, excuse me. And the different creative houses were in control of different brands. So the creative house that was in charge of Prince of Persia, that series, was Creative House 4. So this is the last structure that we know of the company that was confirmed. But what is happening today is they may be taking those 5 creative houses and squishing them even further, and dropping and probably laying off or firing a lot of people. So this is unfortunate. Never want to see people lose their jobs, but it has been something that we've been discussing on the podcast for a long time, Phil, about how this restructuring was coming, and it seems like it's finally happened today.
Well, it's not that Ubisoft hasn't had a perfect last couple of years. There was all the Embracer drama.
Yeah.
Assassin's Creed has just been, I feel like, a lightning bolt for all sorts of issues. The fact they haven't released a Splinter Cell game, which is what the entire audience is asking them for. Ubisoft has not been killing it. And also Skull and Bones being the first quadruple A game, and then landing flat on its tushy. There is... You sure did. And you played it. And you had
I played it. I think I probably put 40 hours into it.
That's great.
I did have a good time, but the problem is that the entire meta of the game relied on you having friends to play it with. And so it's like I can't solo against,
a team of like 5 people.
Yeah, exactly. I can't do that. So, and there was like no matchmaking for that stuff. So it's like I can't even play with randos. Anyway,
I feel like they're like looking at their production house setup. There's a lot of stuff that is going to obviously disappear. So the Creative House 5, just to name a few of their hits, they have Just Dance, which I think they'll keep making. Their Hasbro games, their Uno games. I'm not gonna say those are like free for them to produce, but I think in the large scope of things,
cheap.
That's kind of easy money.
Yeah,
cheap to make. The Invincible Guardians of the Globe game, which I think is their fighting game. We'll see if that still comes out. It's been kind of like, I feel like it's been shown off a bit of a whimper lately.
I think
House 4.
I think it'll come out because the people in the boardroom are going to be like, Invincible is a successful brand right now, so we're going to.
And I'm sure Amazon probably has some like money in the pot there.
Yeah, they probably have to fulfill a contract.
Creative House 4 is Anno, Might and Magic, Rayman, Prince of Persia, Beyond Good and Evil. This one I feel like is likely to lose a lot of its traction.
Yeah.
Because Rayman, outside of Rabbids, kind of doesn't have a lot of heat going. Prince of Persia released 2 games last year and nobody really cared. Beyond Good and Evil 2 is never ever coming out.
No. Right after Half-Life.
Right after Half-Life 3.
Yep.
Creative House 3 is For Honor, The Crew, Riders Republic, Brawlhalla, Skull and Bones. Again, all games that people are kind of like, that happened?
Riders Republic is good. I'll interject there. Riders Republic is a good game. So
I'm not saying they're not good. Brawlhalla is also good.
Yeah.
But I feel like it's those games that kind of like they release and you're like, oh, has this game been out for a while? And like, no, it's a new release. You're like, oh.
Right.
But yeah, Creative House 2 is The Division, Ghost Recon, Splinter Cell. I feel like that's probably just gone with the wind.
I don't think so, just because there's been a lot of talk that The Division 3 is coming.
Really?
And they're not making bank off of it, but from what I've seen of The Division 2 is that it does pay for itself. So they're not actively losing money on that franchise.
Okay.
So, like, I did have a good amount of fun with The Division 2. I wish that it was you're fighting zombies and not the gangs of DC or whatever.
Gangs of New York.
Yeah, gangs of New York. I'd rather them be zombies. But I think that we might see at least The Division survive. Yeah,
that would be cool. I mean, honestly, if The Division 3 is just like, okay, we know all the sick people were there, they're zombies, great.
Yep.
I feel like you could, honestly, all of these you could make an argument for, because Splinter Cell just had a Netflix series come out, which is, again, weird. And Ghost Recon, I feel like, was the big, like, tactical shooter of the past.
Yeah, but it's not anymore, though, unfortunately.
It's not much anymore.
Yeah.
And Creative House 1 is Assassin's Creed, Far Cry, and Rainbow Six.
Yeah, that's premium, the top tier. Yeah.
Yeah. That's where they send all their star ponies to pasture. But I feel like a lot of these, like, honestly, I feel like at least 3 of these houses are probably catching the axe.
Yeah.
If there's any stars from among the things that are, like, let's say Creative House 4, they'll probably bump them up to 2.
Right.
If more than one house even survives. But
yeah. I mean, again, similar to what we were talking about when EA got acquired. I think that we could see an instance where maybe Ubisoft sells some of these franchises, where it sees them as not profitable anymore. I don't know who would really buy them, but I think that's just me saying I want somebody to buy Beyond Good and Evil so that they'll make it. So
Unreal, get out here, buy it.
Exactly.
Show us what your Unreal 7 can do, or
make
whatever.
something other than Fortnite. Although you're doing a great job with Fortnite, but like let's keep the ball rolling.
Hell, make it in Fortnite. I don't care.
Yeah. At this point, yeah. All right. Shall we move on, or do you have any more thoughts about Ubisoft?
Oh, one more thing, because we've been talking about this for a while. The Assassin's Creed Black Flag remake. Can't say Black Flag for some reason. The Black Flag remake seems like it is still going to happen according to some leaks and rumors I've been seeing floating around the web. And other leaks and rumors are saying it is going to happen. It's just delayed. Initially, it seems like they were looking for a mid-March release, which kind of fits just based on the amount of leaks that we've heard. And for these re-releases a lot of times, or these sort of like remakes, it does seem like they don't need as much of a run-up as other games do, as like a new IP. So I hope that's still cooking. It is one of their most profitable franchises, and it is probably one of the best Assassin's Creed games. But besides that, I hope for Ubisoft to find their footing, because they are in a tough spot.
Yes, very much so. So I don't know. Well, we'll see how this restructuring shapes out. We probably won't know exactly what it looks like, maybe for even a couple of weeks. So we'll see if more details come out, and we will report on them in future episodes. Let's press right along. Dawn of War 4 has been making a big publicity push this, I would say, really the last 2 weeks. They've been doing deep dives with IGN. I've seen lots of things on other websites as well, GameSpot, Games Radar, of them breaking down the different factions and everything that they're going to be having. If you're familiar with Dawn of War, there's going to be 4 factions in the game. The Space Marines, the Adeptus Mechanicus, which are technically part of the Imperium, so they're technically on the same side as the Space Marines. Then the Orcs, of course, the Greenskins, and finally the Necrons, which are kind of like undead robot ancient alien race things. Terrifying things.
All of the words you said are things I'm interested in.
Yes. But for this game, it is important to note that this is not the same company that has made Dawn of War 3 or Dawn of War 2 or Dawn of War 1. This is a new company. The last game that they worked on was Iron Harvest. And for those who are not familiar with Iron Harvest, it is a kind of a steampunk World War I, World War II-ish real-time strategy game. So it definitely fits that genre. It's a real-time strategy. You have like mechs and things like that. So it definitely seems like a good fit for them to take this on. And then I will also note there was not a lot of love for Dawn of War 3. There's a lot of issues with it. One of the issues I had is that you really couldn't build any bases at all. Which like bothered me to no end. Like, I don't need it to be just about building a base, but if I'm playing a real-time strategy and I can't like create any structures, just feels kind of silly. Like it's silly that we have so many first-person survival games where you can create structures, but if I'm playing a real-time strategy, you're not going to let me create a structure. That just seems dumb. So there's improved base building and whatnot. And then they also have talked about that there is going to be 4 different campaigns for the 4 different factions that you can play. So that's kind of a return to more of a old school RTS vibe, where it's not just the main story and everything like that. They also are trying to prioritize not demanding a lot of micromanagement. They said that they don't want the game to feel like it's StarCraft, where it's like you are constantly having to tell your units what to fight and what to do and everything like that, where they have their AI is intelligent enough that they're not just going to send troops in the middle of the battlefield to die. So that's kind of great, because that's always a big problem with RTSs. You know, most people are like, well, I can just attack move, but that doesn't account for all situations. So I'm very hopeful about this. Dawn of War 2 was the first Warhammer game I ever played, so I'm very, very excited. I'm glad there's a new studio, because I thought Dawn of War 3 was not good, to be honest. So yeah, very happy about this. And frankly, I'm just happy to be getting another RTS. Like, there's just not a lot of them. out there. So even if this game is kind of mid, I'll probably still be happy with it. So
this does look a lot like StarCraft, just from the outsider's perspective.
Sure.
And I think like that is StarCraft 2 was probably one of the first RTS I played. It was like one of the first games I got for my first ever computer that I built. And I do have a lot of fond memories of that. And like, especially when a game looks good and like there's these large scale battles happening, there's something that feels so PC gamey about it and feels so like larger than life, even though everything's kind of like small and far away. So the fact that it's like very visually stunning and they have a lot of really cool animations in it. Seemingly, like there's a part where I see these orcs like ripping apart a robot that's part of the Mechanicus or whatever.
Yeah.
Like it looks like they put a lot of attention to little detail. So I'm excited for it, even as someone who's not like famously an RTS guy. But yeah.
Right on. Yeah. Well, that's good. I like one of the things that I always bugged me about StarCraft, and this is more of an old school RTS thing. Same thing with Age of Empires and everything like that. It's that when you build one Marine, you get one Marine. Instead of like games like this, where it's like, if I build a Marine, I'm getting a squad of Marines. And to me, that makes having large scale battles more achievable than like I need to master the economy in StarCraft so I can spam click the Marine thing so I actually have an army of Marines. So that being said, StarCraft 2 is a very old game at this point. So
that's true.
Yeah.
We've gotten some things a little bit smarter since then.
Indeed. All right, what's next up?
My boy Rahul Kohli is coming into your house. What is it? April 10th is the release date.
April 30th.
April 30th. Wow, that's too long. Can't take it. Saros, spiritual successor to Returnal, and the next game from. Why can't I think of the name of the studio? They're probably one of the best studios on PlayStation.
The name of the
Housemarque.
Housemarque, yes.
Yeah, Housemarque is making their new game. Seemingly not a continuation. I guess continuation gameplay style from Returnal, a sort of roguelike with elements of like long-term progression over story and making runs with characters, like changing up how they work each time. But visually stunning. I'm excited to learn about this game because it is still kind of a big mystery.
Yeah.
And much like Returnal, as you're playing it, you're unveiling parts of the mystery. So even if they don't give us much leading up to it, it's that kind of works in its favor. But overall, the game looks really, really cool, and I'm excited that it's coming out in April. That's not too far off, and it's kind of like just kicking off the summer of games, you know?
Absolutely.
Jeff Keighley's summer of games.
Yep. So pre-orders are live for Saros starting today, the day we are recording this. And I also do want to mention there has been a digital deluxe edition announced. So you can play the game 2 days early, which is something I hate because it means that it's ready on April 28th and not April 30th. But
you could start playing it, whatever, yeah.
But the cool stuff about it is you get a couple different armor sets. The Astra armor that is inspired by Returnal, so that's an obvious one right there. But some PlayStation-themed armor sets as well. The Onryo armor inspired by Ghost of Tsushima, or Onryo sounds like Ghost of Yote to me.
Ghost of Yote, yeah.
I don't know, it's listed Onryo like that, yeah. And then the Midgard armor, which is, of course, inspired by God of War. And there's also called Hand of Shore armor, which I do not know what that is from. It kind of sounds a little Death Stranding-y, but it could just be a cool armor set inspired by things in Saros the game. I do not know. So yeah, very cool. Glad to see it's scheduled to come out. I hope that's not the only PlayStation exclusive we get this year, Phil.
No, Wolverine is for sure coming this year.
For sure.
Like they've been leaning hard on it.
Yeah.
Pending a catastrophe, God willing, and the creek don't rise, we're getting Wolverine this year.
Okay. All right.
But we'll see.
We will see. All right. Quick little story here. I'll just go through this really quick. So if you haven't played Helldivers in a while, you probably wouldn't be aware that there is now something called the Star of Peace. Definitely not a Death Star, though. Definitely not the Death Star. But it is a star that does blow up planets. The first voting has begun in Helldivers. I believe it's still live right now. And they are letting the community decide which planet to use the Star of Peace on to completely destroy in the game lore, which I think is pretty badass. I don't know if that's enough to get me back into Helldivers after playing the absurd amount of hours that I've put into the game. But yeah, it's a cool feature. I did also want to add that I think it was last week they announced the latest Warbond, which is the redacted Warbond. It has not, I think it got delayed like a week because there was some bug they were having with it, but it's supposed to be coming out before the end of this month. So the redacted Warbond is all about stealth. So there's new stealth perks, there's new stealth weapons with silencers. I don't know how I feel about it. I feel like with many of the Warbonds in Helldivers, they're like introducing a new way to play the game. But at the same time, you don't ever know if that way is viable, especially
or if it's fun for you.
Yeah, or like, is this just like a gimmick Warbond, like where it's like, this is the Patriots Warbond, and we're giving you a sword and a musket. And it's like, that's really cool, but am I ever going to be able to actually play the game with a sword and a musket and have that be viable without like playing on the easiest difficulty? so yeah, I think it's more for fun.
It's cool. Like all the armor is matte black, looks really really fancy. But I'm also I feel like unless they have something big and new, it's kind of tough to get a lot of people back into where Helldivers is at. Also, playing stealth doesn't seem like it works for Helldivers. It seems like most of the time you're going in pretty loud.
I just feel like the speed at which someone calls in reinforcements is so fast that that needs to be adjusted, I guess. Especially maybe that's something with the redacted thing that they're going to adjust. Or like if you're using the stealth weapons, enemies don't, call in reinforcements as quickly or something. But anyway,
that would be cool.
Let's get into Marathon for our main topic. We're talking Marathon. It's going to be launching on March 5th. It will cost $40. Copy and Arc Raiders with that too. And there's just lots of news and a big push from Bungie to show us footage of Marathon and to explain things in Marathon so we can get excited for Marathon. I think this is a little bit too early. I think maybe we could have waited till February if this is coming out March 5th, but we've got a lot of new information to sort through. We now know that there's classes in the game, and there's not like 3 of them. I think there's 5 or 6, including the Rook, which is essentially a free loadout like in Arc Raiders. So I don't know. We've gotten to see some more gameplay of this game, Phil. Has any of it impressed you or reminded you of anything? Or
it definitely reminds me of Apex Legends. It feels very like a fast-paced shooter. Again, playing Arc Raiders, it feels like you are trying to survive, you're trying to hide, you're fighting robots. It feels more survivally. That's sort of that's colored my view of what an extraction shooter is. But this feels like you are looking for fights, you are going out and kind of aggressively moving through the map very quickly. And it seems like the mods, or not the mods, the opponents that you're fighting in the game that are not player controlled are pretty easy. The mobs seem like they're pretty trivial, so it feels like mostly a PvP game with whatever focus on looting and shooting. It looks good, looks fun, looks competent, but it also looks like, to me, game design from 10 years ago.
Okay. What a backhanded compliment.
Yeah.
I mean,
sometimes old stuff is good.
Hey, we're old.
That's right.
Something Yeah, I completely agree. I think like this is an extraction shooter, but this seems very, very PvP focused. And I do think like, there's a market for that because there are the diehards in Arc Raiders that are like, no, shoot on sight every single time.
Yeah.
And I think that has its place within the game in Arc Raiders, but I would argue that Arc Raiders is very successful because it gives players the freedom to decide whether, okay, I can proximity chat with the people around me. They've talked nothing about the proximity chat in Marathon, whether there even is proximity chat. Another thing, like I've watched several videos, they have mentioned nothing about AI enemies. I've seen them shoot AI enemies, but everything they talk about is this class's ability, and this is this class's ability, and all of their abilities are about being offensive to other players. So this is very much, it's an extraction shooter, but to me, and I think I said this before we started recording, it does kind of feel like Fortnite a little bit, where it's kind of like we're dropping everybody in, and the last one standing. And it is still about getting loot, but it is very much about like, I need to kill everybody to get their loot. And for me, I think there's a part of the market that will grab onto that. The shrouds of the gamerverse, like the really hardcore sweaty streamers might like it. But it's not going to capture this wide audience that I feel like Arc Raiders has been able to capture. So,
yeah. Arc Raiders both, I think, has the chops on this game visually, and it offers something different. Because I feel like a lot of games really try to, I feel like we're kind of past the era of doing cool parkour and shooting people. Which is what this game feels like. It also feels, you made this comparison that I thought was pretty apt as well. It does feel a lot like Destiny.
Yeah.
The powers, the way the guns move. And don't get me wrong, Destiny has probably some of my favorite first-person shooting out there.
Yeah.
But the multiplayer was fun from time to time, but it wasn't my main focus of the game.
Right.
So it's going to be an interesting ask to get people to spend $40 on this game. When also, if Highguard comes out and if it's at least okay, it is free.
Right.
And it's a new first-person shooter. Granted, it'll be old by then.
It'll be a different genre, sort of. So I think that's part of it. Okay. So here's the thing. Apparently, since the Marathon pre-orders are live, it is now the 5th highest selling game on Steam right now. So that means there's a market for it. And that means that, we remember a time where Destiny was the hottest game there was. Everybody was playing Destiny. If you were a gamer, you're playing Destiny. Maybe you just played Madden and Call of Duty, and then you're not like as hardcore as some other people. But I feel like the Destiny guys might just jump out for this. They're like, well, I don't really like Arc Raiders that much, because honestly, Arc Raiders feels a lot like The Last of Us and how it plays. I've said that before. Whereas like you look at Marathon, and you're like, that's Destiny. Where I worry about it from my subjective gamer preferences is like in Destiny, you can die like that. So when I played PvP in Destiny, I would do okay from time to time. I would even have some good matches. But anytime I would get in a match with sweats in Destiny, I would get my blank rocked. And so I'm very nervous about an extraction shooter where I have to go PvP. And I know that there is a class called like the Thief, and which is all about like looting and stuff like that. But even the abilities for the classes that are not as confrontational are more about like stealing from other people. And it's like, if I'm stealing from somebody, that's going to bring that person to me, and they are not going to be happy that I stole from them, which is going to incite conflict. And so I don't know. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's just like this mental wrap that I have over my gamer brain, where it's like, if I'm playing the finals, I'm perfectly fine doing PvP. knowing that I'm going to be able to get back in there or whatever.
Yeah.
But when I'm playing an extraction shooter and I don't mentally prepare for like, well, I could play this match for 20 minutes and then die and then get nothing out of it. Like that bothers me. so yeah, I don't know how to feel about this.
I think you made a pretty astute point about how they didn't really talk about the communication that you have with other players. And I think for extraction shooters, at least what we can see from Arc Raiders, that makes a big difference. Like, the interactions you have with other people kind of is what makes the game the game.
Yeah, it drives the community.
It drives the community. It drives these crazy things that you wouldn't expect to happen. These really hilarious situations where someone like robs someone at gunpoint. Like, if it's just run, jump, parkour, wall run, that's going to be fun from a very technical, like, lizard brain point of view.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's going to have the same legs as games where you kind of get to express your creativity through your gameplay.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. So I guess the main topic here that we really want to get into is, do you think there's a market for this game? Do you think that Arc Raiders has already eaten its lunch? Like, we've already seen, like, the pre-orders are top 5 in Steam, on the Steam charts. So that's not nothing. That is certainly not nothing. And then also, I did want to mention, they announced, I think this was yesterday, that there will be a free preview of Marathon. They have not announced the dates, but I'm assuming it's going to be sometime, in February, before the game comes out, where it's probably going to be like a beta weekend or something like that. So I will definitely download it to check it out, but I think we'll probably know at that point whether this game is going to be a success or not.
Yeah, I feel like the preview season, like the game could be, I think from what we've seen, the game will be competent. But if the preview season, if they communicate the game right and focus on expressing the features, on like kind of guiding you how to play the game in a way that will get you some enjoyment out of it, versus just being like a regular run and gun game. This one kind of does feel like it is on the marketing team to express it. Also, Marathon so far has had so many setbacks, so many like things where it falls down. And part of it for me is, as an old head who loves Halo, Marathon always felt like that was the game they did before Halo. Like, have you played Marathon? Have you played Oni? So, and there's a lot of Marathon references in Halo, so it just kind of, it's almost a bit of a sore spot in a sense to see this Marathon being something else made by what is probably a completely different team than people who ever touched the Halo,
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I don't. This is a big question mark. I think at the end of last year, I didn't think that this game was going to come out because of all the lawsuits. You said all the things that they struggled with. So I do think that this will find a market, but I don't think this is going to be the success that Bungie wants it to be. Where it's like, this is our game after Destiny, since Destiny's kind of done after the big Star Wars DLC. So what are you giggling about?
We did a Star Wars. We're done. It's done. I mean, if this is their stopgap between Destiny 2 and Destiny 3, excellent.
Sure. But do you think they're going to make Destiny 3?
I think they have to. They know where the bread is buttered. I don't know what it'll be, but they got to do something.
Yeah, I don't know. But I mean, if they haven't really started working on it at this point, which it kind of seems like they haven't, and they've been working on Marathon, then we're looking at next console generation, possibly.
Oh yeah.
So.
I think we're at the end of this console generation. We're in the back half for sure. I know.
Don't say these
things.
Makes
us feel older.
Don't say these things. Oh my god.
And the next PlayStation is going to cost $800 because the price of RAM is through the roof. This is we'll see. I don't know. Are you excited about Marathon? Just like on a gut level?
No. No. I am curious to play the preview. But it's a genre thing for me. Like I was talking about Absalom at the beginning of the episode, where it's like roguelites, they're just not it's kind of the same, you know, in a way. Where it's just, I don't like that progress can be hindered, because I think ideally what the company is trying to set up is they're trying to set up a game that you could play forever. And I don't think that necessarily makes for a good game. If you want a game that you want to play forever, I would much prefer what Helldivers does, which is you're creating a universe and a narrative where things change and evolve and adapt, as opposed to we've created a gameplay loop for you to play over and over and over again. And because inevitably you're going to fail and falter at some point, you have to make up for that. So it's just a genre preference for me. It's, you know, it took me a lot to get on board with Arc Raiders. I hated it when I first played it. I got like Extraction killed on my first round immediately.
That's hard.
Yeah, I mean, but you know, that's what happens. I like quit immediately. So, you know, maybe I'll do some mental work around it to try to figure out how I can have fun with it. But yeah, I'm not, unless the preview blows me away, I'm probably not buying this game.
Yeah, I think I'm 100% with you that extraction shooters, when they're slower, feel a little bit good, but like at the speed at which you could die in a Halo, or sorry, in a Bungie shooter, it feels like it's going to be just what even killed me? Like, I'm not getting better. I don't know what happened. I just died.
Yeah.
So
it's, you know, you turn the corner and somebody double shotgunned you in the face and it's a one-hit kill. You know, it's like that kind of stuff. You know, and if it's not, then show us the gameplay of players' health being chunkier. Because all the gameplay I've seen, it's looked like Destiny or Call of Duty, where it's zoom in, he's dead. Zoom in, he's dead. You know, and that's just frustrating. Because it's like, if I don't have a chance to respond, then, you know, in Arc Raiders, you usually have a lot of chances to respond unless you walked into a trap or something like that.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Very emotional about it.
Very emotional. We'll see if this is a sprint or a marathon. Can it go the distance? My money's on the under. Although my money's on the over. I don't think it can. My money's on the under for Highguard though. Let's get it.
Yeah, maybe we'll be playing that next week and we'll have to talk about it. So.
Highguard heads, get at me. Let's buy a bunch of merch as a community.
Wow.
Before the game comes out.
Wow. This is going to make you so popular on social media.
Yeah.
All right.
Here's the thing. They're not even paying me. Highguard, if you want to pay me, I can go harder than this.
I don't think they're going to pay their own employees. They're free to play and they haven't advertised at all.
I don't think they paid their media person.
It's like, we don't even know their model. Is it all cosmetics? Is that what they're selling? We don't know. Is there a battle pass? Like, who knows? We don't know anything. So it's so weird. Very weird, very weird. All right. Well, we got to wrap it up there because we are a little over time. But thank you for joining us for episode 108 of the GGG Podcast. I feel like we had some great discussion today. If you haven't already subscribed to our YouTube channel, please do so. And if you're following us over on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, then you don't have to do anything because you're already following us. But you should follow us. If you're not following us, do that. That would be fantastic. We'd really appreciate it.
Get in here. Get on the ground floor of Highguard fandom.
Yep. Look at you buying penny stock.
And I'm buying some Highguard crypto right now. It's gone.
He watched The Wolf of Wall Street this week, and now he's taking it as a life lesson.
I have a wonderful opportunity for you.
The reason for the call today, John. All right. Peace out, everybody.
Bye.